Good morning, Shelley.
I understand at this time of the year you're inundated with calls, and the number one question is about grubs.
The number one question by far is about grubs. We have a real problem going on this year in Ottawa, and the reason it is such a problem is that we had such a mild winter, and we had such a huge beetle flight last year. These beetles laid all their eggs. These eggs turned into to grubs, and they're eating the lawns, and they won't be gone for a few more weeks.
Okay, so it has to do with climate and what kind of winter we have then to really determine, what kind of an infestation there might be?
Yeah, it does. These grubs are not naturally occurring in the Ottawa area. They come up from the northern states, and when they've been here now for probably 10 or 12 years, there's no natural predator for them. So when the European chafer beetle, which is the one that's the problem, when they lay when they're flying around and when they're laying their eggs, there's nothing to stop them from doing what they need to do. We haven't had pesticides on lawns for about 4 years now, and that kept them at bay for a long time. Well, now without pesticides, we have to use other things to control them. One of these things is nematodes. And nematodes is something, unfortunately, although damage is occurring now because of the raccoons and the skunks and the crows, you can't put them down now because the soil temperatures are too cold. The right time to put nematodes down is in the August, September, October window when the grubs are very, very small, and the nematodes will work very effectively to prevent the damage in the fall and prevent the damage next spring as well.
Okay, so it carries through to the following year.
Yeah, these little guys are a one-year life cycle. They're going to finish their cycle in a few weeks. They're going to pupate and emerge from the soil as beetles. And when they do that, they're not damaging the lawn. Then when they lay their eggs and those legs turn into larvae, then they start to damage the lawn, and that's later in the summer.
It's really incredible. So, you just drive around town, you see beautiful lawns at one day, and then the next day they're just decimated. They're just brutal. It look brutal.
Well, those are the calls we get, is people say, I went to bed last night, everything was fine. I woke up this morning, my lawn is missing. And I always have this joke about raccoons where we don't mind the fact that raccoons eat the grubs. What we don't like about the raccoons is they don't put the sod back because they're terrible. However, we have a solution for that as well. One of the services that we provide here is hydro seeding. And when people do get damaged, if they don't want to resod because it is expensive, or if they don't want to seed because it doesn't fill in as well as the hydro seeding does, we have the service. We come by, we paint your lawn, we clean up the debris, we paint your lawn, and you have a good lawn in about 30 days.
There's nothing you can do to prevent getting grubs on your lawn.
You cannot prevent them from going there. The beetles will go wherever they want. They're going to mate up in the trees, fly to the ground, and lay their eggs, or fall to the ground and lay their eggs. There's nothing you can do to prevent them on your particular lawn, nothing at all, which is really unfortunate. However, to bring the damage down to a controllable level by having a healthy lawn, by having a fertilizer program that is custom blended for the Ottawa area, that you're getting regular fertilizer visits, not just one or two throughout the season, but 4 or 5, that's going to keep your lawn really healthy, and then the grubs aren't going to cause as much damage. Because every lawn has a couple anyways. It's when they get the high volume that you have the problem, and a lawn can withstand 5 or 6 per foot. Once you get beyond that, then it's an issue and you need to get nematodes, et cetera.
Okay, so we're into the mid-April, and what is the real focus outside of grubs? What is the real focus at this time of the year as far as your team is concerned?
Well, lawns are hungry, so we're getting out there and making sure that everybody has their fertility program going, and we're getting the lawns done for that. The aerations will be starting in about 2 or 3 weeks. They're not ready to go yet. The soil temperatures again are too cold, and we want to make sure that we are doing the right thing on the soil, which is to get our tines in 4 or 5 inches down. Sometimes you get aerations that are only about 1 inch down. That's not doing the lawn any good. You need to have a good deep aeration so that the roots and the food and the water and the oxygen and everything get down into the root zone and grow a healthy lawn. So fertilizer, raking is good now. The temperatures are warm enough, and aeration in a couple of weeks.
So the early arrival of spring doesn't seem to really get you ahead of schedule, or shouldn't get you ahead of schedule, because with the fluctuation in temperatures that we still see.
Yeah, most people are looking outside and say, wow, it's sunny, it's warm out. We look at the soil temperatures and the degree days, and we say, okay, where is this all going? And once we start to measure that, we find out that, yes, we're ahead of schedule, but not that far ahead of schedule. Not as far ahead as most people think.
Okay, and if folks want some more information, they can get in touch with you, Thom?
Absolutely, Nutri-Lawn.Ottawa.com.
Nutri-Lawn Ottawa.com. Okay, I know you've got a busy season ahead. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thank you, Shelley. We do. Bye.